Alright, we have gathered here today. We're going to replace coils, front and back, and spark plugs. This engine's toast, so these new parts I'm going to take off. I've got the old ones to put on. I'll go ahead and scope this while I'm in here and show you what I'm talking about. Toast. It jumped time, and I'll show you what it did with the valves and piston and everything. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and take this all apart. I'm going to show you guys how to replace the rear spark plugs and wires on a 2006 Ford Escape with a 3.0 V6. And a lot of V6s are like this. So you have a Hyundai or Toyota or whatever, it's going to be about the same. This is just specific to this on how to take the intake and stuff off, but you're going to take the intake off of whatever you're working on. So let's get started. So the first thing we'll do is go ahead and unhook our battery, the negative cable at least. Now all you need really is a ratchet and then all your sockets and stuff, but this little electric ratchet makes things a lot quicker. So to get this little plastic cover off, you got the bolt up top here, and then you'll have a bolt right here, and they're both 8mm. Keep you a little tray here, you know, magnetic, excuse me, whatever, and you just take this, kind of get it out the way. You come to your cord cables here. It's for the throttle, so you just take this one and kind of pull it frontward and then off, and it just slides off. And this second one, let's see, you'll go ahead and, you know, tilt, and you'll just kind of push that cable out of the little hole there. Now it's kind of hard to do one-handed, so I'll have to do two, but oh, there we go. You just push it out the hole, and then see, this is undone. You'll take these out, you'll go ahead and take this off. Just take this whole assembly and set it to the side, and that'll get your cables out of the way. Alright, so now your cable's out of the way. Now you're going to go and at all these on the intake. There's 8mm as well. There's some in there and right here, and then that'll be ready to come loose. You got to take this hose out the way. You'll take this out of the way, the throttle body or whatever. You have to unhook this, and then back here you'll take, what I do is take these two bolts out, and then that'll come out to the side. So let me go ahead and get that started. And it seems like everything's 8mm, so that helps out. Now this part back here, these two are 10mm, so that's what we'll take out there. So when you go to take this off, these are 10mm as well. Now once you get to these that you got to take off the intake, you're going to need an extension. This one's probably a little extreme, but that's what I have, so it'll work. So once you have everything loosened up and everything, just kind of go around and make sure that all these in the back are slid off, and you know, this stuff's all undone. Try to make sure you don't break any clips or tabs. I know I have this hose right here that's still attached, but I'm going to pull this up anyway and look at it. Be careful, these right here underneath and stuff is actually pretty sharp. You will cut yourself. So I just left that hose on the bottom connected because it's kind of a pain to get to once it's on. You can go ahead and do it. If you need new fuel injectors, it's a great time to do it. They're all, you know, right here where they need to be, and they're not hard to replace. So there's your fuel rail, and here's your injectors. So good time to do it. Now we'll go ahead and take these coils out. See, now the back ones and front ones are going to be about the same. You just take this little nut here, unplug it, slide them out. Now make sure you don't get the wires backwards. It's kind of hard to do, but you can still do it. Make sure they're going to the right cylinder they're supposed to go to. But there's your 3 back ones, there's your 3 front ones, and the spark plugs are right in there. I'm gonna go ahead and pop these out. So I unplugged all the coils and I pulled them straight out after I unbolted them. Now the spark plugs are down in there. You just get a spark plug wrench. Most of them are 5/8, and most of them have a little thing in there to hold them. So then I just got 2 regular extensions to put in there to do it. We got this scope off of Amazon. It's not bad at all. It's got the little light down and everything, so it can go down in the holes. So, got it turned on. The light's on. We'll stick it right down. Well, let me get some extra slack there. We'll take it. We'll just stick it right down in the hole. And see that on the piston there? The 2 little stamps towards the back there. Right here and right here. Yes, some pistons have that kind of stuff going on, but not this one. This one's not supposed to be that way. That's where the valves came down when it jumped time and slapped that piston. And I'll show you on this other one real quick right beside it. If I can get it in there. There we go. This one just got a bunch of carbon on it, but you don't see anywhere where it's been kissed or slapped. That one either. We'll go ahead and do the back ones real quick too. Like I said, they're the same as the front, they're just in the back. Yeah, that piston's just got some carbon on it. And I'll tell you, seafoam is really good about cleaning that up if you have some carbon buildup. Oh, look at that back one there. That's got a little piston slap too on it. I didn't know that. But you could go ahead and do the timing on this, resurface the heads, you know, put your new valves in, but your piston's still gonna be kissed like that and everything. After all that, you could just replace the engine. But this vehicle's not worth it. At the end of the day, the best I could probably get out of this vehicle, even with the market like it is $3,500. So, you know, you take this vehicle, you put in $1,000 or $2,000 for the engine, and then what? You're not making that much money. That's if it's best, and this vehicle's not best. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not great. So most likely I get $2,500 out of it. So if I put $1,000 into it, or $2,000 into it for the engine, I'm making $500. But I've already have the price into the vehicle. It's just not working. Now, if I was going to keep it for myself, maybe it'd be worth it. But this one's for sale, or it was going to be for sale. But I wouldn't sell something like this. So anyway, I'll go ahead and put it all back together. It's pretty much in reverse. You slide your spark plugs in, you gap them if you want it to be right. You put your coil packs back on, tighten them down, plug everything back in, put your intake back down, and put everything back on. And that's what it is. All right, these coils are pretty self-explanatory, but I'll go ahead and show y'all real quick. So you got your spark plug already back in the hole. You put it in there, you do it hand tight, and then a quarter turn. That's plenty tight enough. You take some anti-seize if you live in a place where they seize up a lot on these. Here in Arkansas they don't. You just take your coil, and they're all the same, all cylinders. There's no spark plug wires on these newer vehicles. You just got these, I mean they are spark plug wires, but not like the older vehicles. So you just take and slide it in there. You'll line up this back hole here, and you'll kind of feel it click, or maybe not, but you'll feel it kind of bottom out. Then you just take your bolt that goes in there, and you just tighten it down, and then you can take the plug or the wire and just clip it on, and you do that to all of them. That's it. That's pretty easy. If these little gaskets right here, these seals are bad, go ahead and get the kit and replace them all. Same thing with these. I recommend them replace them all, especially since, you know, you gotta take all this apart to do it. So if you have a check engine light for cylinder 1 misfire, or cylinder 6, or multiple cylinder misfires, or whatever, and you determine, or you think, or know that it's the coil, which usually these coils, especially on Fords, they go out, just take and replace them all. Yeah, you can go to Advance Auto or a local auto parts store, you know, O'Reilly's, whatever, and these are kind of expensive. But if you get on eBay or Rock Auto, you can get the whole set for the for the price of one at your local parts store. So if it starts misfiring or acting up a little bit and you get check engine light, go ahead and replace all of them. Just do the tune-up all together. I guess you call it a tune-up, even though it's not technically a tune-up. But you'll save time in the long run, because if you just replace one, I don't know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later, you'll come back and have to do another one, and it'll just keep going and keep going until you've got them replaced all anyway. And this is just gonna be more work going back and taking all some. So the last bolts to put on are the two you started with, but before you do that, you know, make sure you get your cable on. You want to put this one on first, and then slide that one on. And then while you're over here, go ahead and make sure everything's still hooked up, you're not missing anything. And once everything's back in, you put your last piece on and start it up, and good to go.